Hello everybody, here we are. I'm not doing a reveal this time around because, well, I don't really have a reveal scheduled right now. And I wanted to go through a couple of rolls of coins, and I just decided, why don't I put this online and let everybody see what's going on. Let me get this set right here. And get it set right for live. And focus in. Get everybody ready. This is one of those special RPM rolls. If you've been around a bit, you've heard about them, I'm sure. We're just trying to get these looked through. I've probably got about 45 rolls of these left. And so what I'm trying to do is identify the vast majority of these so I can get them separated by RPM, get them put in inventory properly. I think this one, just to get started, is, I believe it's RPM 212. Here, let's get a window ready with the Copper Coins die search on 1960 DRPMs, and I'll get another one ready for 1961 DRPM. Just makes it easier when you have more than 1 year that you're going to be looking through, that they kind of work at two different pages. You don't have to flip back and forth and back and forth. You've got them both set up and they're easy. Don't have to redo searches. Okay, so here is that. Oops, I didn't mean to do it that way. There we go. We'll get it wide enough to fill the screen. There we go. Now I'm going to go to my 1960 search, and I'm going to, I'm pretty sure this is number 211, 212. It's one of the newest ones. And I can tell because it has this this hump right here on the top of the zero. It's got that little nipple on the top of the zero. And I know I've seen this before. And I think it's right up here. Let's see. Let me look at the RPM again. Okay, a small split upper and a bigger split lower. And it has some north and southish die scratches running through the mint mark area. So let's go back and take a look again. If anybody knows what die this is right off, I'm not doing this for my number. Just let me know. And we'll look it up and get this finalized so that we can move on. I think it's this. Yeah, there it is right there. What is that? Number 221. 221. All right, well, let's find another marker and check to be sure that we got it straight. How about all of this out there in front of the 1? So we'll check for that and make sure that's there. Yep, that's there. Definitely. This is number 221. So what I'm doing to help myself in this process is coming to a live unprepared. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Hang on just a second. Okay, I have these little post-it notes. You can't really see them on that. I'm cutting them into thirds. They're the smaller ones. And I'm cutting them into thirds. And using them to mark the die number down. And then I put it on my desk and lay the coin on top of that die number so that when I find more of them, I can put the correct coins with the correct number and have them available. There we go. Like this. So I got my little post-it note in 221, and then I got my whole table lined up with little coins and dies and stuff. Now I could take that and I could put that coin where it belongs, so I can stack them all in the right places. Next coin in line is, it looks like it's a slightly brown coin. And I don't know what this is. Turn it just a little bit. It's got a big lower split serif, not much for the upper split serif. Oh, good evening to everyone, by the way. I just kind of started running off along with my coins, and I tend to do best when, and it's not a nerve issue, it's just an issue of not really wanting to pay that much attention to everything around me, and I just have to kind of hyper focus on what I'm doing so I can get it done right. See, here's a 61D. I don't know which one this is. I'm sure I've seen that before. Oh, heck, why not? Just for the giggles of it, let's set this up and try to find it. Hang on a second. Let me get my pad backing back on here. I know what I'm talking about. Doesn't matter if you guys do. Here we go. All right. My post-it notes have the pad backing on them again. And so I'm going to take this. Is that the right coin? Yeah. I'll take this 61D here. Get some lighting on it. Okay. Turn so that I can see those serifs. Focus it into place. Turn my camera. And we're going to go to town. We're going to look for this. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to bring up copper coins here again. We're going to try to squeeze in so that we can see that. It's about as small as I can make it happen. There we go. Now I'll move this over just a little bit to make it easier to see for us. Audio is choppy. That might be because I'm not talking directly into the mic all the time. So I'm talking directly into the mic now. You should be able to hear me a little bit better. So let's go over to the 1961s and start looking down the row and see what we find. This is kind of how I do this, as I'm digging through stuff. I don't know the dies that much better than anybody else around does. An expert is more a person who knows where to go for the right information rather than just knowing all the right information. So that's what I tell everyone. You want to find the right information, know where you're going for it. You don't have to memorize everything. I'll try to find this here. It probably is a YouTube thing. That's the issue with YouTube these days. It doesn't like to keep up on lives. There's going to be a time, sometime relatively soon, where we're going to have to start looking for another place to do our stuff. This is not it. See, this serif, the split in the serif actually comes in more from the left rather than coming up from the bottom like it does over here. So we're going to keep moving. And this one's a little closer, it appears. Hey, Doug, all we're doing is just digging through a bunch of rolls. Just digging through an RPM roll of coins, trying to identify the different RPMs. This is not an official broadcast. This is just a, hey, what's going on? Here I am. Let's play around a little bit type broadcast. Hey, this looks close here. This one looks like it could be it. Number 78. Well, let's see what we have here. Looks very close in appearance. Let's see if we can find any marker information to match. Let's see if we have these die scratches. Okay, the coin that I have here is a later die state than the one in the picture. So it doesn't surprise me much not to see the markers come out perfectly straight on it. Let's see if we have any of the reverse markers. Even older, the reverse markers will still help identify the coin as to what it is. Let's see if we have any of this on here. It may be a little difficult to tell. Turn my lighting down just a little bit. Let me bring that screen back up. There we go. Yeah, see, this had a pretty heavy die scratch coming out of the T of states, and it is just not there now. So, kind of tells me it's not the same reverse. That hardly matters, because they do change reverses. This is definitely not the same reverse. Look at the weakness at the top of the building in the photograph. That weakness is definitely not here on my coin. So it's definitely not the same reverse. It's probably you. I'm not seeing where I have any problem with audio. Is anyone out there can hear me for sure? My audio's getting cut out. Oh my gosh. Good thing I didn't try to do reveals tonight. Let me bounce back out of here and keep looking. Because that was number 78. Let's see if there's another one that is close. Hang on, I got to get the coin flipped back over. Hey. Back here. There we are. Ah, my color just kind of cut out. That's kind of weird. Everything's real pink in my scope. That's kind of messed up. Oh well. Well, if I don't get this identified, it'll definitely be something worth looking at later for additional ID information. This looks like it could be pretty close. This number 83 here. Let's see what we get when we go in there and take a look at it. Okay, we've got older photos here. Only a couple of marker images. Let's see, what can we produce just from looking at the date area, if we can produce anything. So my coin has right die because the D is too far away from the 9. You see that the 9 and the 6, the spatial distance between the D and the number digits is a lot larger in the photo than it is on my coin here. So this is definitely not the right die. So we'll keep moving. This is not it either. There's still more distance right here on my coin, the little tiny distance I have. So let me keep moving. That one's also not spaced properly. That one is not. And that is not. So let's go on to the next page of results. And Looks like so far I'm up to make a match. So we'll just move on. We'll just skip this and say, okay, well, we couldn't make a match there. So we move on to the next coin. We'll see what we have coming up next. Let me move my other stuff out of the way here. We have a real problem with this camera at this point. The color is all messed up. Color is near dead on my camera right now for some reason. Let me do this. Let me restart the software. How about if we do it that way? Yeah, the 1960 is a difficult one. I tell you what, folks, let me I'm gonna refresh my browser as well and see if I get better connection. I'll be right back. All right, we'll see what I've got with this. I'm back. And I was going to restart my software. It says it's not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. And my camera isn't working. So it's one of those bitrate things. I'm pretty sure it's going to plague us until we decide to stop broadcasting. So I'm just going to broadcast. You guys want to hang around and try to keep up, then that's perfect. Okay, I got nothing there that I can really make out. It's a small upper serif. This one is a different die from that last one I couldn't identify. In fact, this may be the same die again. Let me move that other coin in front here. I'll flip back and forth and see what we've got. Nope, it's a different die. Look at the distance between the 9 and the D. Okay, get a good memorization of that. Let's see. Let me flip this sideways and get the serif in there. Wow, there's a 19. Looks just like the 61Ds that we've just been looking at. Okay, and I don't know what die this one is, so we will have to... That's a 59D. I'm not even looking at the 59Ds for right now. Another 60D I don't necessarily recognize right off. That's a nice 61D there. We might be able to find that one. Let me get the camera situated so that the coins sit straight up and down. Now move this over here, and then we can bring up the website again. This is my 61D page, so let's go back to page 1 and flip all the way through and see if we can find this one. Let me turn my lighting up just a little bit. Like that. Get my focus in a little stronger. Well, it's about as good as it's going to get. Okay, and now we can just take a look and see if we can find this one. If anybody else wants to help out, bring up coppercoins.com or your favorite RPM reference if it's not Copper Coins, and play along. See if we can figure out what this is. Get ourselves a good ID on this. I'm looking for anything that looks like this particular die in the listings. Haven't found anything yet. We are working diligently on getting a redo on any photographs that are not good on the website. We are also adding photographs for missing dies on the website, and we are making strides in getting that done, added a rather rare die today. It's 1960D RPM 99. 1mm099. Relatively scarce one. Well, this is not working out to make itself easy. That's for sure. It's not it. It's not that one. Not either of those. We're way up there in the numbers again. Let's limit the date mint die varieties to the top 5 for each. I'm not sure what that means, Dennis. I'm just going through trying to identify these die varieties as I hit them. It's more a maze of dies that I'm working on trying to figure out what these are rather than only showing ones I can identify. Let's see, this could be that last one. It doesn't look like it though, never mind. It's not in there. It's not that. So we're going to move on. Not worry about this one either, because I don't know which one it is. Let's see, what is this? 1960D small date. Minor lower split serif. I'm not even going to try that one right now. Let's see. Okay, there's one I can identify. That's a number 64. This one's a number 64. Let me go over to the 1960D and go back to where we're going to see number 64. And there's number 64 right there. It may or may not be number 64. This one could be a different one. What I generally use is this little die scratch that comes off the tail of the 9 and heads toward the vest. If it's there, yep, it's there. I have a winner. The other thing that I use to identify number 64 is it is a rather thin mint mark, and it has this little hook up here that you can see, but you've also got this little bit of die damage right here, and you can see that right here on the studio photo. So now let's look for another one of the markers, just to be sure that this is the die we have. And we're looking for 2 die scratches that are parallel between the O and the D of God. And there they are, right there. We move over to the W of we, and we have another scratch next to it there. This is definitely 1960 DRPM number 64. 1mm 64. So this one comes off and goes in my pile for 64. I already had 2 of them sitting there. And we move on to the next coin. Oh, look at this. 1981. 1981D. Well, it's not every day that we see an 81 DRPM. Let's see what we can do about finding out what this is. Let's go back to copper coins. And let's do a die variety search for 1981. And see if we can find this one in there. This one will be cool. Whatever it is, it's scarce. They're all scarce, 1981. And does not look like it's number 1 because it doesn't have the split in the upper. That looks like it might be it right there. Number 7. Let's check it and see if we can find a marker of any kind that matches. Let's see, the doubling looks similar. So what is this a picture of? Can't really tell. I can't tell what that is. Brady, you gotta move your photos out, brother. If I can't tell what I'm looking at, it doesn't do me any good to have a marker photo. And let's go. I can't tell what that is either. I have no idea where that photo is taken. Ugh. These are all too close. Let me check it. The reverse here. I know what that is. Flip it over and see if I can see. I don't see any die scratches between the F and the A in Of America. So this one could possibly be a different reverse with the same obverse. But without being able to identify what I'm looking for, I can't really use these photos to look this coin up. I wish I knew where these photos were supposed to be. It does no good when you've got a photo this close. You can't tell anything. Yeah, I don't know what any of this is. All I can identify is the mint mark. And let's see. Let me get this. It's a little bit of a game of. Nope, I didn't mean to do that. Put this back in there. And take this. Move this up a little. I didn't mean to do it that way, though. Oh my gosh, Chuck. Basically, what I'm doing is I'm driving left-handed, which is not easy to do for an old person like me. And I'm in a year that I'm not highly familiar with. It doesn't look like the same die, actually. So I'm going to back out and see what I can find with these other dies here. And if I can't find it quickly, I'm just going to move on. It is definitely not number 1. I don't have the split at the top. It is definitely not number 2. I do have a split at the bottom. It is definitely not number 3. The upper serif is too... Well, it looks like the upper serif is too meaty for number 3, but we'll take a look anyway. Yeah, these are old photos. They're going to be hard to identify anything by. But we can check. Let's see if that die scratch with the 1-9. The die scratch next to the 9 is there. And... yeah, maybe. Who knows? It's a different die state. How about that? Die scratch coming down from the W of we. I don't see that at all on my coin. Let's see if there is a die scratch between the T and the A of states. And this is the kind of game that we play every time we try to identify a die variety. We're playing the same game every time, and sometimes it's just impossible. I'm going to skip by this coin because I don't know what it is, and we'll deal with it sometime later. Right now, I just can't identify it. Don't have an example or photos to use. This one... I don't think I know this one right offhand. Let me get rid of this. Let's see if I can get my screen to quit messing up. Go to the right white balance. There we go. Not really sure why we're having issues with white balance, but this is a little bit better, I guess. Yeah. This is really weird. This thing mess up with me. Dealing with it like this, I probably have to restart my computer, but I'm going to try just restarting the camera software again. See if there's any way that restarting the camera software might... Yeah, see, that's defaults. That's just wrong. That's not even close. All right, folks, tell me, what color is this? What color, what color, what color? Is my sound and everything getting better? It should be. I hope so. I haven't seen a warning recently that's told me I'm not getting enough bit rate to broadcast. So this is copper brown. It needs to be more copper red because that's what color the coin actually is. Let me throw a little bit more gain in it. Let me bring the color temperature back up a little bit. How about that? Is that a little bit better? There's just something wrong here. Let me go ahead and hit defaults on everything and just go back to defaults. It may be in a color adjustment or something that isn't right. Okay. Let's see here. White balance, black balance. I want to hit defaults on that too. And okay, so with white balance, the color temperature, actually, I'm going to put white underneath there. Okay, that looks white to me. I don't know why this thing decides to get all of its messing up while I'm live. It never messes up when I'm not live. Okay, there's my color temperature. My tint should be just a little on the red side. Get my exposure time in there. Throw a little gain at it. And this should be more or less correct. I think we're a lot closer than we have been. I know I've got that die scratch between the bottom of the 6 and the 0. The only problem is I can't remember what die that is. And, I mean, we can look for it for a little while. At least give it a small shot. I got to stick the D way over there on the side. And, yes, Kelly, that is how you make sure white balance is correct. You look at white. There's a lot of cameras, not this one particularly, but there's a lot of cameras that you can use a white card or a 18% gray card, and you can actually take a picture of it, and it'll tell you if your white balance is set right. Okay, what am I looking for here? We're in the 60s, 1960D, in the numbers around 60. I don't think it's a 1 through 10. It's definitely not a 1 through 10. 11 through 20, I'm not really thinking there's any of these that make it possible either. 21 through 30. Yeah, I don't think so there either. I'm thinking this is going to be at least in the 60s or 70s if it is one that's listed. Nothing there. And nothing there. It's not this because it didn't have that third serif down below. Let's see. Anybody wants to try to help with this, you're welcome to try to help with it. We're working together at this. So if you see something you think might turn this into a yes, then you let me know. I'm up in the 80s right now with no match so far. I don't think it's 80 or 72. Although this is the one I had a little bit of question about as to whether it might be it. Let's check. Let's see, that's a completely different die. That's not even the same die. Nope, definitely not the same die. Who took these photos? Okay. These I think I can work with. And this might be a 72. It's going to be an earlier dice date than the one or a later dice date, than the one I have in the photo. Alright, let me back this out a little bit so we can look at markers as a group of markers. And move these photos around to see what I can see that might be able to make a match. Okay. This die scratch comes off the one and goes down into the vest. See right here, you got this die scratch comes off the one and goes into the vest. I do not have that on my sample coin. I have a lot of similar die scratches though. Similar area die scratches anyway. Alright, let's see if this real heavy one is between the E and the R of Liberty. And it is not. I'm thinking here I do not have the same die, even though it is relatively similar. It's not mentioning that die, the die scratch between the 6 and 0 of the date at all. Okay. I should have noticed this. My spatial distance between the D and the 9 and the D and the 6 are far greater on the die in question than on the sample coin. So we're going to move on. Definitely not it. I wasted some time there. Let's go with... don't have an 89 in my files right now. Let's see. This is the one I just added this afternoon. Number 99. Number 99 is a very scarce RPM. Happened to have found one. Okay, now we're looking for the large dates again because this one's definitely a large date. We have to get up to... number 100. So got a vacant spot there. 136 is my next large date, and that's not it. So we keep looking from here. 137, it's not it. 138, 39, 140. All not there. Let's see. Keep digging. Eventually, it will probably show up. For right now, I'm kind of unsure. I don't think I have. Nah, I don't have that. Looking for the inside, that doubling on the inside, it's just not there. So let me keep looking. Here's one that's kind of close, maybe. Kind of close? Are you kind of close? Let me get this turned. I don't think close enough. So all the markers are different. Yeah, I don't think we're right here. No, it looks like my D distance is a little bit different. Mint mark positioning is a little further away on the die in the photos rather than in mine. So I keep looking. And I show nothing on this page. Let me move on. And not there. Let's see, what's this one? Nope, too far away. Oh, what about that? Shabam, there it is. Number 167, that's it right there. Going to the marker photos for that die, and we scooch over here, where we can see that the die scratches in and around the date are exactly the same. You got this heavy one coming out of the D, you got this heavy one coming out of the D over here. You've got the one between the 1 and the 9 that goes down to the bottom of the D. There's your line between the 6 and 0. I knew I had seen that before. But there's that right there. So this is definitely the same one. So I'm going to write a 167. A 60, a 167 on a new piece of paper. See, this is the kind of stuff that bores some collectors to tears. And it's the kind of stuff that other collectors like me just love to do. And I will look through any number of coins to identify what I've got going on, because I thoroughly enjoy doing it. There's another one of those 61Ds. I'm thinking this one should be easier than I'm making it out to be. Although, we're going to try it again. Let's go through the 1961Ds again. Let's see if I've got a good marker to use as a potential. I remember that die scratch coming up off the 6, between the 9 and the 6 there. And then we've got that heavy piece of die damage underneath the 6-1. Something tells me that that is a very recently added die. So let's try here. Might be one of these. No. Spacing between the D and the date is different. Let me check to see real quick if number 111 is the most recently added, because I have a special sheet to look at. I have to move this up so you guys can't see the address of the sheet, because I don't need anybody else looking there that doesn't belong there, because they don't know what they're looking for anyway. No. Let me check this one. These are all the dies that we've added to the website in the last year or so. No, number 111 was the last 1961D added that I know of. Yeah. So let's go over here. Let me put these in order by the die number. Sort. Go down here. Yeah. So, no, I do have two here. Those are probably, one of those is probably C09. No, okay. No, those are older ads. So, something tells me I've seen this die and I just don't have it listed right now, because I know this die damage over here. Aha. I think I remember finding it somewhere else, and it matched up with another die that I have that is not listed in the system yet. Anyhow, we'll keep moving. Anyhow. Anywho. Let's see here. Okay. Move right along to the next coin, and the next coin is... Oh, this one's fun. This is a 1960 D1mm 17. Die number 17. Let's check real quick. And we'll go back to 1960D. And we'll go back to the second page. Down to number 17. Right there. No, let me go the other way. And see if I twist my camera around and make that level up, you can see how that appears to come very close to matching number 17 there. Now, hello Hoop. Let's go into, this is probably an MDS-ish coin. Yep, and there's your die damage right there below the 6 that we're seeing. Actually, this particular example is an LDS. There's a mosquito in here. So we'll go to the LDS photos. Almost flew into my mouth. Okay, there is a die break in the LDS. That's actually quite a bit later than what I have. So we'll go back to the MDS photos and try to use this to match up a marker or two, just to be sure. Okay, what do we have next? Okay, we've got concentric die scratches on the lapel. And sure enough, we've got concentric die scratches on the lapel on the questionable coin, or the coin in question. And I get these. There you go. So you can get the, we back out a little bit too to get these evened up in size and relative size anyway. There, now you can see my die scratches. This is definitely die number 17. You got a die break in the bottom of the R, and it is there as well. What's next? Die scratch off the back of the head. There's die scratches off the back of the head. You've got a concentric die gouge between we and trust, which that's also there. It's a little weaker, but it's there. Should be showing a die crack running across the head, because we have a pretty nice die crack running across the head. Well, what do you know? We've got it right there. So this, without a doubt, is number 17. So I'm going to pull it off and put it in my number 17 pile, which I don't have created. So it's the first 17 I found in tonight's hunt. So I'm going to do a 60 017. Looks just like this. 60 017. And I shall put this coin in its spot. Let me make sure I've got the right coin. That's it. So put it there in spot number 17. And I'm going to move on. Move on to the next coin. That's a 1961 that I don't know right off. I'm going to skip it. Get this up. Bring the camera back around. And, oh, here's an interesting one. This is an interesting one. This is 1960 D RPM number 15. 1960 D number 15. Let me knock these things out of the way so we don't see them. There we go. Make this a little bit bigger. Bring it into better focus. And bring up bum-ba-de-bum-ba-bum. This little guy right here is my friend tonight. Let me get him out so that we can see all of him. There we go. And we'll come right back here to number 15. It's probably going to be an MDS. Let's check the EDS for the die scratches. We don't have the die scratches in the EDS or the MDS. How about the LDS? Hey, this is a different die state than those we've seen so far. It is definitely the same die, though. As we scooch this over and take a good look. Oh, I didn't want that to happen. There we go. Move a couple of these back out of the way. There we go. Now, I mean, you can see it's obviously the same die. Happy Easter to you, Patrick. And so this will be one that we should get photos of these die scratches to show everyone that the die scratches are indeed there in a, looks like mid to late die state. Let me see if I can find another marker that's going to match up. We could look for that. Mark above the left base. And, well, I don't really see it, but I'm not focused in really well either. No, I don't really see it. So let's see if we can find something else. How about that little die chip right there? What do you know? There it is. Same size and shape. Actually, mine shows 100% now that this is a slightly later die state than the coin in the photo, because mine has the additional little touch of this little die break right here. That little die chip is not in the photos on the website. So mine is just a little bit later. This has progressed just a little bit. You got some other marks coming out of it, but as a shape, as a piece, you can see this down here. It all looks about the same. So you definitely have the right die. So this is number 15. So I have to make a new little thingy for it because I don't have any of those out here yet. So I write a 60. And a 15, just like this. Oh, ready to go. Get this out of the way. Bring this back. And there we go. Oh, let me back this out. There we go. 60. And number 15. I'll put this in my little special place next to 17, because this is probably the closest die number I'm going to find to 17 tonight. And move on to the next coin. Next one's a 1968D. And I'm not sure what I'm looking at here yet. Is it a double die? No, not that I can see. It doesn't look like an RPM either right now. Not seeing anything on this. Let me move on to the next coin. Oh, this one should be relatively easy. Look, God, look at the toning on that. Look at all the color on that coin. That's nice. Nice, nice, nice. Let's see what we have going on here. I bring this up, focus it in real nicely. Get my lighting on it just a little better. Probably going to have to bring up the brightness and the exposure simply because it's a toned coin. It looks like a rainbow trout. All right, and I believe this is number 50, but we will check it. And let me put a little more light on the subject. Go down here, and I'm going to grab the Copper Coins website. I'm going to go ahead and take us to number 50, I believe, is where I'm going to be looking. So I'm going to go to that page, not number 51, 52. This is probably number 50. So we're going to go here. And it, well, it looks like it could be number 50. Let's check the LDS photos and see what we see here. You turn this little guy. So we have a match for positioning anyway. I've had some trouble with these before, but I do believe this is the same die. The reason I believe it is because we have these little die scratches, especially this one right here that you can see pretty well, running down from the 9 to the vest. And then you can see right here, you can see just the beginning of this right here. But let's check further, see what we can see. Oh, there we go. There's our definitive yes, you have it. It's your die scratch coming off. It's a horn to the left on the 9. And we can check our TY over here. Oh. Appear to have some slightly new markers, but we still have the markers that we were looking at before. You can see the curved line just above the T. Also definitely the same die. So this one is a what? Number 50. And I don't have a pile for 1950 yet, or for 1950. Die number 50. So in goes a 60. Die number 50. The 60. Die number 50. And I move number 47 over a little bit because I found a 47 earlier. This is what I do, folks. This is Chucky's. It's kind of Chucky's sideshow. My dog and pony show. My little tricks that I do. There we go. There's that. On to the next coin. And pop out of here. Pop down a little bit. Circus in. Bring my light down. And look at the doubling on the die. Oh, this one's cool. I know this one right away. This is number 20, 23 or 24. I think it's 24. I say I know it right away, and then I don't know it. So 23. That's what this is. It's number 23. There it is right there. There's your match. So I know this is a 23, and we do not have a 23 pile yet. So I'm going to start a new pile, 60. Number 0, 2, 3. We'll put that one in there. And next coin. Next we have a small date. Man, those are a pain in the butt when you don't know what they are. They'd be really hard to mess with. Those die scratches will eventually help me identify it, but right now I don't recognize it right off the bat. So it's going to get skipped because I don't know it right away. Ooh, this one's got color. Look at all that color. Pretty color. This is going to be a number 157. Yep. Number 157. Number 157 has a very strong straight up and down die scratch coming out of the middle of the Y. And it is a upper and lower serif. Somewhat minor. Upper and lower serif. But it is number 157. This is number 157. Take this one and put it on the... I don't have a pile for 157. How about that? Fancy that, will ya? Make a 60. 157. There's that. We only got 15 people watching. That's all fine, folks. If you guys want to stick around and learn, if this bores you, I completely and totally understand. Okay, that one we're not doing. This one was... Wait a minute. Where are we here? Oh, I took it off the stick, didn't I? This was it right here, I do believe. Yeah, number 157. Now we move on. We move on to this one. This is another one of what I believe I just saw. Right. No. Maybe this is it. Then we move on down to this one. Okay. So now there's something different. Oh my. This one I definitely remember because it has that strong die scratch paralleling the front of the vest. Let's see. Let's see if I can find this one. It's going to be in the 20s, I believe. So we're going to skip to my loo through the 20s. And I'm going to zoom in on this a little bit more. And get it in better focus. Get the light down on the subject a little better. And we're going to find this one. It actually looks like it's this one because look at this. See this little raised area right here? I think I see that on the sample coin here. I also see what appears to be a little bit of damage right inside here somehow, a scratch or something. So we're going to go in here, we're going to look at the markers in here, and if we see my die scratch, boom, there it is. There it is right there. I got lucky on that. But this is the die scratch I was looking for underneath the 1. So this is definitely this particular die. It is a 1mm26 1960D. Should have a little thing coming off the... See if I can see my little thing coming off the right side. There it is. A little hook coming off the right side of the mint mark. So this is definitely number 26. And wouldn't you know it, I don't have a pile for number 26. So let me throw together a little label. And this is what my little label looks like. 60-026. This is literally 1/3 the size of a small pad of Post-it notes. And we will put this right in its place. Next coin, last one in this half of the roll. Then I'll fix another roll half for us to go through. Let's see what I have here. Tilt it around so I can see the lower serif of what's going on with it. Oh boy. I am gonna skip this. I don't have enough marker information right now to definitely find this one relatively easily, so aside that half of the roll will go, and onto the stick the other half goes, and I spend a little time prepping this and getting everything in the proper spot so that we can look through it quickly and easily without breaking our necks trying to turn and look at everything in the same direction. I'm bound and determined at some point to find 1960 DRPM number 99 and especially RPM number 44. RPM number 44 is a very minor RPM, it shows as a very close split lower serif, but there's also a line, a horizontal line, inside the mint mark showing the third punching. The most definitive marker for this is an upward arching die scratch. It's a round upper arching die scratch that shows just above the Y of Liberty. If anybody could find a number 44 for me, RPM number 44, I'm going to pay you $40 for it. Or $50, I'm sorry, $50. This is 61D number 47. That arrow coming off the southwest corner is a very heavy indicator for me. Of course, I don't have anything made up for it. Let's move on to the next coin. Oh, definite. 1960D number 2. 1960D RPM number 2. One of the strongest 1960D RPMs. Let's see, what are you? You are a number 24. This is number 24 right here. We had 23. This is number 24. And I don't have a thingy left out for a number 24, so we're just going to stick it down here and remember it. This is... I do not believe this is number 50. I think this is a number 49. I do think this is number 49. Let's check it out. Let me get this in the right place over here. And then, while I try to balance this on my finger with my left hand, I'm going to use my right hand and go back to the listings on the website and go to page 5. Go down to the bottom of page 5 and look up number 49. We're going to go to MDS for MDS markers on die number 49. See that little die dot right there? You can see it right here. They match. And then right up here on the 9, there's another die dot that matches right there. Let's look for another marker and see what else we have. We've got a large die scratch running across above the 1. And I don't know if I show that or not. I get things situated here. And it does not appear that I can show that. Oh, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. There it is right there. You can see it running up above the 1 in my slightly less than focused image. Let's go over here to the E. Yep, there's the die scratch running from the middle of the E to the middle of the R. So I definitely have a number 49. I gotta start writing these down or I'm gonna forget them again. 60 049. Okay, I've identified every one of them on this board so far. So this is what I was kind of wanting to do when I came in here. Let's see, what do I have here? Oh, man. Anybody recognize this? Who is this cat? It's a nice RPM. I just don't recognize it right off. Really nice D over D rotated counterclockwise. So let's see if this works. Let's go to the search. Go back to the search. Come on. I've done a lot of digging around since I hit that. Wow, really? There we go. And go, let me move this over so everybody can see it. We'll do this, 1960. If you could see how I've got my hands configured right now so that I can do this. And then let's do, yeah, see, we don't have a rotated, do we? Yeah, we do. We should. God, come on. There we go. Rotated. And then hit submit search. Let's see what happens. What do you know? We'd come up with a bunch of rotated ones. How about that? And we may even have some chance we have a match. Do we have a match? See if you go specifically for. Gosh, I've got to do something about this. Let's see. Let me do it this way. Put this back under there, and put the coin under there, and get it focused on that. It's going to be far easier for us to look for it if it's not shaking, right? Okay, so we've got this covered. We've got this covered. They look about the same. The position is somewhat similar. Let's see if we've got markers that'll help us. I see already I'm seeing some slight problems here. Yeah, the markers don't really seem to match up perfectly. So let's move around and see if we find any markers that do match perfectly with this, because we are relatively close. So we're going to look now for die scratches above the 1. Ooh, that looks pretty similar. That one oddball die scratch. There's something that'll show us is, see that hump on the top of the 9? That little bump? I've got it on the coin. So now let's check. Let's check and see what other markers we have to see if there's any really big obvious markers that'll help us definitely. Well, we can go look for that. I got my window open. You might be able to hear a siren. They're not coming for me. Not that I know of. Well, we do have some rather parallelish looking scratches in the right places. Let's go down here to the 1 and 1 cent. There are lots of similarities. Let's see if I've got that. Yeah. Looks like it could be this right here. Just a slightly different die state. A few more scratches. See if I've got this in here anywhere. I'll go up and look at this little area. I think I'm seeing a match. Look up here. Right there. Night Otis. Definitely looks like a match to me. Even though they're slightly different die states, you've got some markers that totally match, like lines going this direction. I'm kind of seeing over here. So, yeah, I'm kind of thinking I've got a match between the die and the coin. Let's take a look. Check and see for this marker. Yeah, not there. Just when I think I've got it. Just when I think I've got it. Let's check above pluribus and see if there's any scratches there. Yeah, not. Oh, there's scratches that parallel it where the BU is in pluribus. That parallel what I've got on here, but they're not. It doesn't look like the same scratch. Sometimes it can be this difficult. I don't see a match up there anywhere. Alright, let's go back and look at the mint mark again. See what we can get for a spread, direction, everything else on the mint mark. Let's look at the W. There's something on that W. Well, I've definitely got something coming off of it. It's a different die state, so it's not really going to make itself obvious to me. Okay. Take another look at the mint mark area. Give us a little bit more light here. Come back over to here. I don't know, what do you guys think? It's a miss? Think it's a miss? Okay. Well, I can keep looking. It just, this number 38 seems pretty close. So, what happened? Something happened with my capture on the return. Okay, let's go to the next page of rotated. See if we see anything else that comes close to matching. Yeah, this one doesn't do it. This one's not right. This one's the opposite direction. That doesn't do it. Don't think. No, these aren't the same. Well, I only had the one die that appeared to be a match. Well, it appeared to be a close match. I'll have to do this one another time because it seems like we're just going to blow a bunch of time on this and not really come up with a good solution, but I do believe it's this number 38. A pretty decent idea. Yeah, let's check 61 here real quick. Ooh, we could have a match. We could have a match. We back this out just a little bit and we'll take a look at those die scratches. I think we might have a match here. See this over here, and then this right down here. And then you've got this one right here, along with the extra heavy damage right here. And you've got the one that nearly parallels it right here. Your mint mark position is right. You've got this coming up out of here. Just check another marker or two. You have a die scratch, or I'm sorry, a die crack above VDB. Check. A die crack, I'm sorry, above VDB. You have a very short and very heavy die scratch inside the Y. Bingo. This is it. There it is right there. So it was not 61. It is, or it was not 38. It is 61. So there we go. There we go. So we've got a number 61. Also one that I did not already have in my little pile, so I need to make some more of my little thingies. God, we got a whole half this roll. We got probably 18 coins left to go in this half the roll. This kind of thing can be fun to do. It's a fun little game. This is, what did I say it was? A 60, number 61. 60. Oh, 61. Man, there's a lot of something going on out there. There's sirens going everywhere. We live out in the country, so it must be a big fire or something. Right there's number 61. Now let's check the next coin. Let's knock this down. Go here. Get my focus back in. And what do we have? Oh. Well, you're certainly not going to make life easy. We're not even going to bother with that one. Another tough one. Another fire department rolling through. Let's see. There they go. Out on the farm road. And I don't know what this one is right off the bat. Well, if anybody else knows these, just speak up. Not trying to be the know-it-all curmudgeon here. I'm just trying to identify these. So if you guys know what they are, let me in on your little battle, your little secret. Hang on a second here. There we go. Yeah, this one I don't know, so I'm just going to keep moving. It's not a number 44, and it's not a number 99. That's what I came in here today looking for. So, oh, that one's kind of icky. That's a 1962. I'm going to skip it because it's a 62. This one is number 132. I think 132. That little tiny split on the upper serif. It was listed a long time ago, but I can always tell because it has this little scratch running right through the top of the D. That scratch running right through there. I want to show you. I think it's a 132. So we're going to go back to here, and we got to go back to the main search page because it's not that. Oops. There. 1960 D mint mark variety. Go here. Go to next 10 pages, and then go up to page 14. 132. There it is right there. You see with the scratch running through the top here. And then you've got this other scratch that runs right here that you can see right over here. I'm going to the MDS photos that I have for this. You can also see right down here and right here. You got these two bits of damage on the die. Then over here you're going to have a whole bunch of die scratches. They're concentric in nature, including a relatively heavy one coming out of the B of Liberty. Right there. So we definitely have a die match. I'll flip it over and show you the die crack on the CE of Scent. There it is. Big old die crack on the C of Scent. And I will take this one, and of course I don't have a 132 pile. Why would I have a 132 pile? So 60, number 132. If anybody needs any of these, let me know. Any number of these at any time could be for sale or trade if you have anything I need. Let's see. That not a 59D tonight. 60 and 61 only, please. Ooh. Boys and girls, I think I have a good one. I think I have a really good one. It could be. Oh, I think it is. This is a number 11, I think. Number 11 is rare. I like that. Let's see. I'll check it for sure, just to be sure. But I think it's a number 11. Yeah, that's number 11. What was my main marker on this? Let's see if I've got the die chip on the reverse here. That's a very nice one, too. It's actually a semi-gem coin. Yep, that's it. Check for another marker here. Hard to tell what my markers are. Let's see. Move back to here. Let me check MDS images and see what I can get out of that. Looks like I got a little pickle mark next to the R I should be looking for. Next to the R in trust. Yeah, it's there. You can see it. Let's see. What else do I have in these picks? Not a lot of good. I have to figure out how to get better images here, but definitely looks like the same die to me. Number 11. Isn't she beautiful? 'Tis number 11. So I am going to make a pile for number 11 in, well, hopes. Yeah. Like I'll find two of them in one roll. 60D number 11 is quite scarce, if not even downright rare. And that is another one I have now. What's this little guy right here? I remember seeing a die that had a chip in the 9. It's a relatively minor split lower serif with a chip in the 9. I don't remember what die it is right now, and I don't want to go through the trouble of looking for it. So we're going to move on and do a next. Oh, there's one with a die break right on the jacket. I got a good idea of what this is. Oh, boy. I'm not sure I can identify this one right away, though. It's a 1960D small date. And we'll have to look in the small date RPMs. We're going to be starting on page... So I don't think it's in the first group here. It's not. So let's go on to page 12. See if it's on page 12. This is one of the ones that has a very thinly punched mint mark with some doubling. So what we're looking for is a thinly punched mint mark with double split serifs. So this is a thick mint mark. See how the difference? This one is so thick. Oh, I'm sorry. You can't see. Let me move over here. Now you should be able to see what I'm looking for. See how this one right here is so thick, and then this one here is a really thinly punched mint mark. So we're looking over here for one that's thinly punched like this is, and has double split serifs like this one does. And then we can go into it here and see what we see for marker info. And I'm already seeing I have a match. How I can tell I have a match is if you do not pay attention to that fiber laying on the coin. Come here. Dust that little fiber off the coin. And you look at my marker photo, you can see that die scratch coming down off the 9. You can also see a little die break on the right side of the 9, a little die chip right there. And you've got that same little die chip on my coin. And I've got that die chip on the 1 here that you can also see on my coin. And I'm going to go ahead and scroll down. You can see that die chip again on the 1. Let's look on the other side of the 1 and see if we see a long die scratch there, which we do. You can also see this little pickle mark right here in the die. You can see it right there, that little white spot. Let's go on down and see what else we can see. Okay, you've got some die damage below the VDB area. If that's on this coin, then we definitely have a match. And it is. That's something you don't see often. There's little humps and bumps like that right along the edge of the coin. So this one is a definite number 125. Yeah, 1960D, 1mm125. So there is another little hit. Nice. What do you think? Good? Got 15 people watching. There's my little 125. My little 125. All right, we got about a dozen coins left in this roll. Oh, man. Is this the... What is this? I don't know what this is. Aha, there we go. That's it right there. 221. Number 221. And go down here. And I got to get better. And let's go to the markers. And it's right there. That mark on the 0 tells me for sure that's what that die is. I've also got a mark on the bottom left of the 6. You can see it right here. You can see a mark on the 9 right there. And your mint mark has the same distance, same spread, same everything. So this is a 221. Stick that in the 221 pile. Move on to the next coin. Oh, Cajun. Ooh, that's kind of cute. A 1961D with some kind of little heads and tails thing. It's got a thing up on top of it right here, and it's got doubled serif down here. But you know what? By the time I find that, it could be past midnight. So I'm just going to keep digging. There's another one I'm not even going to be able to find tonight. But I know it's in there. It's just which one it is. It's going to be a little difficult to deal with. This one's circulated. It could be a number 132, but I'm just going to keep moving. Let me get this out of the way so that we can see what we're doing. We'll kind of finish with that now. So, oh, there's another one, 221. Number 221. So that's another one in this roll. And I keep moving. What's this? It's a 59D. I'm not going to mess with it right now. No 59Ds tonight. Whew, there's a pretty 1961. This one, I'm thinking it could be... No, I'm not even going to try. I don't remember it, so we're going to move on. Hang on a second. Let me get these couple here off. All right, and that's the 59. There is the 61. All right, next one we haven't seen yet today. I'm not even 100% sure that is an RPM. Nope, I'm not sure that is one at all. What's this one? Oh, that's a 62. That's a nice 62D. Look at that puppy cake. Yeah. Daddy gonna have to identify that one. We're gonna have to look at that one. We're gonna take this 1981 search down. We're gonna go to 1962. Oh, that might be it right there, number 1. How about it if that's it? Let's keep looking here and see. We only got 3 pages of them here. So if I see another one that looks the same, we'll stop. Otherwise, we'll go back to number 1. Alright, looks like I'm going back to number 1. Yeah, we're going to go back to number 1. And we're going to look at the LDS photos. And we got a definite. Look at that die scratch right there. You got that die scratch right there coming down. Oh yeah, for sure. Looky here. You got that die scratch right here in the photo. So this is number 1, 1962D, RPM number 1. So that's a definite hit. Here's another 60D. For some reason I thought that was not a 60D. See if we can identify this one real quick. Turn it further around so we can get that bottom serif lit up. Oh, this is going to be tough. This one's not going to be easy. Yeah. See if there's any magic markers. I happen to see what I did there. There's no magic markers that I know of here, so I'm just going to have to move on. So out of that roll, I managed to identify about 2/3 of them. I don't know what I got here. I got 3 more coins sitting here. I'm not sure what they are, so we're going to look at them. Oh, I don't know what that one is. What's this here? Oh. Yeah, I don't know what that is either. Not right off. Let's see. Well, let me get this cleared off here. Look at this 3rd coin. And see, what are you? I am quite uncertain. Got some nice color. Well, that's some pretty color. But I digress. Shall put those away and get these 2 little coins out here and see what they are, because I set them aside. Now I don't remember why. That's a 132. So that's a 132. I don't know why I had that set aside. And here's another. I don't know what this one is. I'm working toward the ability to identify at least all of the 60s and 61s from memory. I'll let you know when I get that done. Don't hold your breath. Might take me a little while. I've been working on it for about 25, 30 years now. I haven't gotten very far with it yet. But that's not to say that I won't suddenly wake up tomorrow a savant and be able to learn anything, right? I might wake up tomorrow with the ability to memorize absolutely anything I want. Then again, don't hold your breath, right? Let's get all these laid out here. I'm going into another roll. Get all these laid out here. Where am I on time? Heck, I don't even know. How long have I been on? I'm going to get all the reveals scheduled for tomorrow and Sunday or Monday. I'm not going to do any Sunday because it's Easter. By the way, happy Easter. I'll probably wait till Monday. Where's this little guy? Come here, I say. Turn around so I can see who you are. I like to talk to the little coins. That's the Bob Ross in me. Happy little RPM lives right over here. 105 minutes. Okay, I'm good. Don't know who you are. Moving on. Yeah, I don't know that one either right away. Oh, let's see. Oh, something tells me I should know this one with that big giant die scratch coming off the 9, but I don't. So we're going to skip it. There's number 21. 1960 DRPM number 21. Kind of cute. Nice one there. I don't have a spot for 21, so we'll skip it for now. There's a 61D number 2. 1961 DRPM number 2. It's a nice shiny one. But that's what it is. It's an earlier dice date. 1961 DRPM number 2. Alright, let me take this off. Of course, I don't have a spot for 61D number 2, so I'll keep going. What do I have here? Well, that's interesting, but I don't know what it is, so we're just going to keep moving. It's cute. I don't know which one this is, though, so I'm just going to keep moving for right now. Can't say I do know this one. Keep moving. What are you? Oh, that one I recognize. This is number 157. 1960D, number 157. You look for one that's got the tilt like this, and all the heavy die scratches running north and south through the date. Then you can go over here and take a look at it. And if you've got that heavy die scratch popping straight up out of the 9, or out of the Y, you got it. 157. That's my second toned one tonight. Let's see, what's this? Who are you? Who? I know I found this before, but I don't know which one this is right off, and I'm not going to go digging around looking. I think it's number 72, though. Who are you? 1959, don't care tonight. What's this one? That's a pretty 61. I don't know which one it is, though. There's another 61. This one's cute. It's got a big old hook coming out of this east side. Oh, we can dig through 61 for a little bit looking for this. That's quite distinctive. Should be pretty easy to find. Appears to have a die clash or die crack. Is there any way I can have you look at it? Thank you in advance. Hey, you take a picture of it, mail it to me. cd@coppercoins.com if you can take a picture of it. Of course, you have to take a picture. I'll be able to see what's going on. If you can't see what's going on in the picture, I definitely can't. But if you give it a shot, it might work. All right, we're going to rifle through the 1961 Ds. We're going to start right here. First page. And we're going to see if we can find a match to this Eastern Hook RPM. Keep digging, keep digging, keep digging. That one is somewhat close, but it's not the same thing. This one's too low. Let's see. It's not there, not there. Hey, it could be this. Some chance it could be this one. Let's check this out and see. Nice little hook coming out the east side of the mint mark. This is going to be on the left side of the base on the reverse, on the right side of the base on the reverse, and those are the only two photos. Well, if this is the same thing, we're going to be replacing the photo. Let's see. Twist it on around here and see if I can make anything out of the die scratches or the die flow lines running near and around the mint mark area. Get this up to be about the same size. Quit moving it around so much. Get my camera back up straight. Focus it in. Get my lighting up. And see if we can match anything in and around the mint mark area. This could be what matches this. In fact, it kind of looks like it. Okay, another thing that I can do is check out. Let's see, what is this? See the RPMs. It's going to be RPM listings, 61D. What was I looking at over here? Number 24. You can see if I find anything on Variety Vista that helps me match it up. Sometimes I can find stuff in their listing. See, this looks a little closer to my coin than the photographs we have. So perhaps they just need a replacement set of photos. Okay, so he's got a die scratch from the 1 southwest of the vest. I'm kind of not seeing anything. Nope, not really. Let's see. Okay. Try a different die state. We've got... Okay, I've got that same area where there's a die scratch out in front of the vest. Kind of hitting its way down. I think I'm going to be able to call this and just say this is it. Because I'm having a little bit of trouble matching anything up perfectly, but if you look at his picture right here, this one, oh, wait a minute, let me see if there's anything else that'll help me. Okay, this picture right here, you see this little line right here? I'm kind of seeing that on my coin. And this little void area right here, that's actually a recess. It's actually on my coin too, a little recess right there. The hook on the D is a little bit different, but that's simply because of the die state. If you look up here, he has a slightly earlier die state that has a better hook. As I'm not seeing much of anything that actually helps, process of elimination basically takes me into looking at the rest of the dies to make sure I don't have anything else that matches better. And I might be able to just call the shot based on that because it's extremely similar. I mean, they look identical. So just to look down the list and see if I see anything that is definitely it. Sometimes you end up doing that. You end up catching yourself and finding something that's exact. I also happen to have a relatively large inventory of mint marks. I can go and see if I have another 61D, number 24. I think it was 24. Okay, I don't think it's going to be in any of this, but we'll keep looking anyway. I'm kind of thinking it's going to be number 24. Silvershire, are you talking about this particular coin, that it's not a match? Could you tell me again the indentation on the one? What are we talking about? Let's see. I go back to number 24 here. I don't have much for pictures, which is one of the reasons we're doing this. We're actually looking for coins to match better to pictures. The first one on the year. The 1 digit, you're probably talking about it being different from something on his photo. This up here is a hit. That's a hit. I don't think that's an indentation of any other kind. The D looks different. Okay, well, let's do it this way. Dun, 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 dun. Watch. Watch. What do you think now? Look pretty spot on to me. What do you think? The D looks different because of the photo, but I don't think the D is different. I think they're the same. We're looking for anything that matches between the two photos, and I'm just not seeing it right now. I'm seeing some, I'm pointing at my screen. Right down here, I'm seeing some die scratch direction that looks about the same. The problem is, it's going to be about the same with just about every die, because that's how die flow lines typically move, straight to the outside. but I'm not really seeing anything to break the brain and say, oh, this is definitely it. So, I don't know. I'll throw this one aside. I'll put it as a possible number 24. 61D number 24. And we'll see how that works. Let's see. So I'm going to call this a potential number 24. Check it against the one in my set. See if that helps any. All right, let me get this out of the way. We can get back to looking at these other coins to see if we can figure out what they are. The 1961D number 58, I believe. But I'm going to skip it because I don't really want to mess with that right now. Not in my wheelhouse today. Look at this. God, look at that color. Oh, look at that color. Nice color. Is it a good identifiable one? It's a 1960D. Let's see. Let's flip you up this way. My gosh. I like it, but it's got a scratch, like a hit on the top of the mint mark. And I can't really tell right now whether that's an RPM or not. But, man, it's got nice color. Look at this color. Let me back off my light just a little bit to give us a good view. And take you on a color tour. It's a magical mystery tour of color. Look at that. That, boys and girls, is pretty. Kind of crazy color. I can't tell what the RPM is right off the bat, but that's like not bothering me at all because one of these days I'll make a big old pot of coffee and I'll sit down and figure these out. Doesn't take all that much effort, but it does take more effort than I'm willing to exert this evening. What do we have here? This is a small date. Tell that already just by looking at Liberty. And what are we? Well, I'm not going to be able to identify this one right now, I don't think. Unless it's a 132. Is that a 132? Could be another 132. Let me bring it in just a little bit here. And not sold on 132 for this one, so we are going to keep moving on to this coin. That's a 59D. I'm not messing with those tonight. No 59Ds for the curmudgeon today. There's another 59D. I'm not going to mess with that one either. Let's see what you are. 1960D. I wish I could say, oh, I'm not messing with these tonight, but this is the subject of the matter tonight. So let's see if we can find anything here that this matches up with. I'm not getting a vibe yet here. Not getting big feelings. Well, it's relatively nice markers there. That's for sure. We've got some potential whammo markers, but I'm not familiar with this die right away. Looks like nobody else is jumping to say, hey, that's what it is, so we'll move on. What's this one? 60D small date. Looks like it's been banged up just a little bit, but I think it's a 109. Earlier dice date 109 or a 110. I think that's a 110. That die scratch on the 1 to the 9 appears to be familiar to me. So we will check 1960D. Number 110. Here is 1960D number 110. And, oh, okay, the die scratch I'm thinking about runs the opposite direction on 110. So I don't know what this one is right now. And we are going to forget about it, this coin, and move on to the next one and see what we have. What do we have here? This is 58. I think it's a late die state 58. Banged up a little bit. Hello, Carl. Let's see. 1960D number 58. Is this it? Yeah. Sometimes I don't know how I do this. I guess it's just a matter of total immersion for years, and you kind of get used to it, and it just kind of wears on you, and you just kind of get more used to it. But this is number 58. I'm about to show you how I know. But you have to have kind of a fine-tuned focus in on what you're doing. I'm about to achieve that here. You'll have to give me just a moment of patience. Let me get my lighting down a little. Now, observe. When you see that little die scratch right there coming out of the 9, you can see it right here. Oh, barely. Okay. You've got the little shadow of a second D coming up out of the top left corner of the D, which is the case here. And you have a little bit of space between the 9 and the D and the 6 and the D that are roughly the same, only the 6 has just a little more distance. And there are a couple of markers on this that you can check. That little bar between the NU always seems to show up pretty well. So we'll see what we see here. And there it is, that little bar between the NU. So we definitely have a number 59. Oh, 58, I'm sorry, 58. My brain never works perfectly when I'm trying to talk. That is a match. So shall we move along? Number 58, I have identified. And we have a circulated coin. Let's see what that is. Get this out of the way. And I'm going to have to lighten my... It's a 60D small date. To lighten my lighting quite a bit for a circulated coin. And I'm going to go with a... I don't know what this is right now. I'm going to keep moving. Just because I don't like messing with circulated coins, especially in a live broadcast. So I'm going to move on to the next coin. And this one's definitely going to be a number 157. There's one, your marker for 157 is your heavy line sticking north out of the Y. I'll stick this in my 157 pile. And I'm going to move my lighting down quite a bit because I had to move it up so far for that circulated coin. I don't want to blind everybody. And this is another 157. There you go. Another 157. We'll pull that off and pull it in the 157 pile. And see what we have here. Oh, this one's kind of cute. It's got that... See that second serif on the bottom, and it's a very thinly punched mint mark, and it's also got a lot of die scratches around it, which shows that it's been basically polished out of whack, and I don't know which one it is. Anybody else happen to know what this is? 1960D. 1960D. it's going to be above a 100. It's going to be a later number. Because I don't think I have anything in the lower numbers that even comes close to this for a match. Very thin mint mark. That's one thing. You got the die scratches. That's another thing. And your secondary serif is set so far in and it's also very low punch. Very low punch. It's not a small date, so it's not on this page. It's not on this page because it's a large date. And we come back to the large dates at 134, 135, 136, 136. It's not on that page. You guys actually seeing this? Yeah, you can see it. I'm just trying to be sure you guys can see it. Let's see, move on to the next page. This may or may not be listed, but I'm thinking it is. I maybe remember having seen it before. Hey, what do you guys think about this? Number 186. That's it right there. Matches perfectly. 186. I took the photo. Adele's Treasure owns the coin. Number 186. Let's look for those heavy marks down from the 1 of the date. And there they are. Definitely number 186. So I shall be able to mark this as a 186 and move along. What do I have left? I think I'm done with that roll. Am I? Did I finish the entire roll or did I just do half the roll? What is this? Why is this sitting here? Oh, this is it. The 186. Yeah. Chucky's starting to go snowblind here looking at RPMs. 60D. Number 186. I'll probably have to put that one in my set because I don't think I have one of those yet. That came out of a reveal, which all of the coins went to someone, which meant that I ended up with none myself. I think I have another half a roll here, but I'm unsure. I don't know what I'm looking at here in these. I think I have another half a roll here that I haven't looked through. So we're going to try it and see. If I start recognizing coins, I'll stop and move on to the next roll. Because these aren't really going anywhere anyway. It looks like it's another half of an original roll. It is. I haven't seen these yet. I know that because I have a toner here that I haven't seen. So I'm going to put these other ones in the tube. I've got a little stack here. I'm not sure what it is. But we're going to move on. Let me start here. Oof. Well, I don't quite know what you are. I know a lot of things you're not. No idea at the moment, so I'm just going to keep moving along. Next coin. If 60D small date. These can become rather tricky. That one I don't know right off. This is a cute looking 61D. Cute meaning it should be relatively simple to identify once we can actually get into it.
Oh, you want to try it?
Let's try it and see. Let me pull the coin off. It's so close to the beginning of my roll here. I've got these sitting on a stick, and I basically got them hand balanced. And it's not easy to do that and try looking up an RPM at the same time. So we'll do it this way, where I won't be trying to shake and move everything all the time. And we'll be able to look at it and focus on what we're doing here. 1961D.
And let's get out the browser. Look at 1961. I closed that. I didn't mean to close that. Well, we can look at Variety Vista's pictures here. Or maybe not. His photos are so small. It's hard to see much of anything with photos this small. And it also doesn't really bode well for a narrow screen like I'm looking at him now. Okay, let's go back to copper coins. And do a search under 1961 Denver mint marks. And that's easier. That's why I did it this way. That's easy. Let's see. Well, it's not in this first little group. Let's see where we have to go to get a picture of it. Round and round she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. And if it's a number 30, I'm going to skip it altogether because I don't know what the number 30 looks like right now. I'm looking at that number 33. Somewhat similar, but it's not the same, so we're going to keep going. It's obviously one I am not very familiar of. So, whatever it is, it's probably going to be something that doesn't have replacement photos. Oh, looky there. And that looks like it could be close. Number 64. I don't know if that's it or not. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think it's similar. Let's see if we've got that hair coming out of his nose. Got a little struck through there along with a whole bunch of other stuff, but I don't see that particular marker. Different dye state, of course. Could never get the same dye state that I happen to have photos of already, right? Interesting dye scratch off the back shoulder there. But it's not the same as the dye scratch I have in the photos. Doesn't show as being the same. Let's take a look at the reverse and see what we come up with here. We might find enough here to make a match. Or not. No. It's got a scratch from the F to the A, but it's not in the same position. Let's see if we've got that dye dot in the N of cent. In the N of cent. Sounded almost like innocent, but it's not there. So I'm going to probably go with a different dye, because I think my coin is a little later dye state than the one that's listed here. And given that, I would have at least this as a marker, and I would be able to see some other hints of other markers. So I'm going to go with probably a different dye. And we'll just remember number 64 is a possibility still. That way, if we have to look it up in somebody else's listings, we will. And we'll use that as a jumping off point.
so far, I'm not seeing any definite similarities anywhere else here. We may have a slightly contorted mint mark because it looks like there could have been something covering part of the die here, so it made it a little more difficult to make out the really fine details. Okay, I'm not seeing it listed anywhere else. Keep going to the end of the file. Not there, not there. So let's use Variety Vista to see if we see anything. Gonna have to go widescreen here and take a look through these to see if we find anything that is very close to similar. Just looking for anything that has that widely opened heavy notch on the bottom. I just don't see anything like it here. So it doesn't surprise me a whole lot. No, it's not that. That's too far away from the 6 to be mine. That one's too close to the 6. We're playing a Goldilocks thing here. That one's too close. That one's too far. That one's just right. And she fell into the deep sleep. See what I'm saying is it could be something like this, where your lower serif is just kind of messed up. So we're going to skip this one. I'll come back to it at some other point when I have another set of photographs up that I lifted from a third source, which I cannot show during a broadcast.
And we will go with that one being
at the moment unidentifiable. But what would you do for a Klondike bar? All right, let's keep moving. Sometimes I think I have a form of
Tourette's where I can't seem to shut up.
Isn't that a common problem?
This is a number 4 here.
1961 DRPM number 4. There's that little thing on the inside.
So a 61 DRPM number 4, and I don't happen to have anything set up for it already, so I'm just going to set it down here and pick up on it in the
secondary pile, you might say. So I'm going back through it again, and you might not say it. I know this one, but I don't remember which one it is right off, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time
trying to identify it.
I'll come back to it later on.
It's nothing I care to get caught up with right now. Oh, there's a nice one. That's a nice 61D right there. Big old fat bottom. Fat bottom RPM. I like the fat bottom RPMs. Ooh, there's a pretty 59D. Would you look at that?
Oh my gosh, which one is that?
I don't know the 59Ds all that well, but this one should be easy to find.
Gosh, Is that one of the scarce ones? I think it's one of the scarce ones. Why am I asking questions and answering them at the same time? Let's go with this 1962 lookup and run back to 1959. There it is. Right there. Number 10. 1959D RPM number 10. Well, that's kind of cute. I'm not sure I have one of those.
That one could be kind of scarce. So there's a 59D RPM number 10. I'm going to set that off to the side as well. Here's a coin that's got a few marks on it, but it could be a nice RPM. It's not. This is a number 118, I believe. Almost positive this is 118. Keep moving.
Let me get rid of this.
I keep looking around it, and I'm like, what is that thing in my way? Oh, I can move that out of the way. I have the power. Let's see here. Not that. Oh, well, this one's kind of neat. This is going to be one of the ones that you're either going to find quickly or you're not going to find it at all. Look around here real quick and familiarize myself. I've got a little nub coming off the eastern side. It's just a small nub, though. Nub. No huge discernible die crack in the hair. Has a die gouge coming out of the back of the shoulder. Okay. So now that I'm just a little more familiar with this, let's tilt it back over like this so that we can see that mark in the middle of the D.
And I'll come back over to the listings. This is a 1960 D. And we'll go back to here and start looking with number 12, because I know it's not before number 12. It's not before number 20. And see, this one's somewhat similar, but my D is further away on this than it is on my coin here. Let me tilt this around a little bit just to get it so that we've got the same,
roughly
the same appearance. Get my one straight right there. Okay.
You can also
See that the this little stick right here in the middle kind of comes to an end, and this one doesn't. It's another clue. See, this one's further away. This one's further over to the east anyway. This one's way far over to the east, and it's got a big giant hook on the bottom. This one's got a smaller hook on the bottom, but it's too close to the 9. This one here is too high up. So we keep moving. This one's too heavy. This one is too far over. Not right, not right. This one's too high. This one may or may not. Let's see. No, that's not it. What's this? That's too low. Can't really see much on this one. Let's take a look at it and see what it is. Oh, would you look at that?
we may have a match, boys and girls.
That is in the right place. Let me check the late die state images of this. See if we have any late die state images. We do. Oh, I've got die scratches.
I've got die scratches. I sound like my wife calls me geek extraordinaire sometimes. There we go. It's a match.
100%. You got your heavy die scratch coming down into the top left corner of the D. You've got the close, relatively strong bar. You've got over here, you've got this almost curved die scratch coming into the top of the D, which matches this little guy right here. Then if you come down to here, you can see that you've got a nice little set of die indentation thingies, gouges, right here. And got a little die gouge on the side of the W for the Wii. There it is. See a little gouge on the side of the W. Pretty sure we've got a match here. Let's check for this little die gouge
On the bottom of the A with the die scratch that runs underneath the T of states.
There's a spit with a British accent. There it is right there. See little geckos.
This is the one I was...
No, this isn't the special one I was looking for. No, sir.
I'm looking for number 44.
Number 44? 44, anybody bit of 44? Okay, well, keep looking here. Flip this thing around a little bit so we get it all straightened up. Go back up and take a look at this again. We definitely have a match for number 40.
What do you know?
I'm basically building a set of RPMs here because I don't have a number 40 out here yet. This would be your time to go grab your list of the 1960 and 61 RPMs you need.
This would be that time. All right, next up. Who are you? I am not going to stop because that's a 61D and it doesn't have a lot of definite yes markers. So I'm going to keep trucking. What do we got next? Get my camera straight. Let's see. You skip to my Lou. And I don't recognize you right off the bat. So I'm going to keep moving. Next one. Toner. It's a toner. Yeah, I don't recognize you either. I mean, we could look for you, but let's kind of dive into the deep. You know, kind of like going in the deep end without my nose plugged makes me scared. I don't know what this one is either. I kind of recognize it, but I kind of don't. Those die scratches above the RTY of Liberty, I kind of recognize those. But, ooh, there's an ugly spot. Yeah, we're just going to keep moving on this one. Because I'm just not really into that right now. Let's see, 59D, we're going to keep moving. Not one I recognize, and it's got a pickle spot on it. That's probably going in the copper bag. Let's see. That's interesting. Little die break thingy on the bottom of the one. What do we got going on here? Well, that's an interesting 59D, but, you know, I'm not really looking at 59Ds tonight because, well, it's just not something I'm doing. But you've got 3 tails on that. So you got a D over D over D. That's pretty interesting. There's a lot of them that look vaguely familiar. A lot of them. A lot of them. This also is not number 99. So, and it's definitely not number 44. So I don't know it. This one, this little piggy has a lot of problems on the date. This one, I don't know which one this one is. This one is interesting, though. But I'm not sure which one it is. It's not one of the two dies I'm especially concerned about right now. That's a 61. Just keep moving. Well, that's relatively minor. Let's see what you are. It's not the number 44. Looking for that curved die scratch over the Y. Definitely not that one. I just keep moving. Well, this one's cute. That's got a lot of potential. Could have been a contender. But I think I'm just going to keep moving on this one also. Because I don't know what it is. I don't know which one it is. If I don't know what it is, it makes it really hard to identify what it isn't. I mean, I know it's not number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. I mean, I can do that. Process of elimination is going to carry me down to about 150 dies. Yeah. Not going to match it up with anything today. What do we got here? Well, that's kind of cute. That's a 60? No. I don't know. I don't remember. Let's see. Yeah, no. Oh, this one's cute. Look at the color. This is the reason I knew this was a different roll, because of all that color. And all that color for just that, huh? I don't even know what die this is, but it's got beautiful color on it. It's a small date. We're going to leave that one alone. I'll figure out what all these are eventually. It's just not a today thing. I got one more roll I'm going to go through before I call it a night. So get these all put back in this tube. This tube right here. I got a few coins I need to check before I keep moving to figure out what the heck they are. Why I've got them sitting out here. What are you? Don't know. Don't know. Don't know. And don't know. And I also don't know. You look familiar, but don't know. So that's what those are. They go back in a tube. That works for me. Now I've got like a tube and a half of RPMs that came out of 3. And then the rest are identified already, so that's a good thing. 1 inch per day eventually tackles miles. But all you have to have is 1 inch per day. It's kind of like in football. You don't have to throw the 50-yard pass plays. You don't have to do the 70-yard punt returns. If you can get 5 yards per play, 5 yards per play, you'll score every time you get the ball. And you'll have a good shot at winning the game. Petraeus doesn't have a list. It's hard enough to keep up. I get it. I understand. There's another. Nope, that's a number 19. RPM 19 has that D to the north, but it also has that little gouge on the east side of the 9. So that's a number 19. I happen to have one of those on a pile over here, so I'm just going to add this one to the pile. And let's see, what are you? You're another number 118, but I'm not going to mess with you right now. You are cute. Boy, I don't know what you are, but you're awful pretty. Didn't we already do one of these? And I had it identified, or I thought I had it identified. It's not number 11. Yeah, I don't think so. It's not number 11. I don't know what this one is right off.
It's pretty. Is that number 99?
This could be another number.
This could be a number 99. I'm thinking it could be a number 99. Let's go check number 99 and see. There is some chance this could be a number 99. If it's a number 99, it's going to be a pretty big find. Because number 99 is not common. It's not number 99. That's my photo of number 99 from earlier this morning. Nope.
Definitely not the same. Oh, I was hoping, I was wishing. But I'm going to keep moving because I don't know
that one right away, and I don't have time to spend on it at the moment. This is also not number 99. This looks like a 157. Let's go check. And it's not number 157. I don't know this one either. Right off. I do recognize the die scratch coming south from the 9. Pacat font 19. I don't know, 19. I don't know. Je ne sais pas. This is number 5. I think it's number 5.
Circulated though, so I don't really care. Just move it off the stick. Circulated
1960D just doesn't tickle my tummy at all. Let's see. Here's a small date. What are you? Very, very minor.
Whatever it is, very, very minor. I don't know.
Okay, we move on. Oh,
that's cute. That's a 105.
RPM number 105. Has that little arc up above the D on a small date. Number 105, I do believe. Let me check my accuracy. There should be dead balls on, but we're going to check it anyway. Look at there. 105. RPM number 105, boys and girls. And we shall check it by
ensuring that we have
markers that are similar. There's your little die dent looking thing on the bottom right of the 1. To the lower left of the 9, you see another little thing. There's a die scratch between the 6 and the 0, and from the lower 9 to the lower 6, along with your curve, which is extremely distinctive northeast curve above the mint mark.
So this is number 105, and I happen to have a stack of those started where I found like 4 or 5 of them in the last 8 or 10 rolls.
I'm going to come back to here. It's a 59. It's a nice 59. I just don't know which one it is right now. I like that. That's cute. All right, next. Next up is another 61.
Let's see.
What do you look like up close?
Well, you're kind of neat looking, but I don't know
which one you are right off, so I'm just going to keep moving. I'm getting to a point where
I'm at that point of the night where if I don't recognize it,
like within 5 seconds, I'm really just not interested in digging for it.
Oh, it's 63D. Let's see what you are.
I get 63D out of this roll group very often. I can't really tell what it is. Might be one of those unicorns you only see once in a great moon. But it looks like that upper serif may be doubled to the south, but I can't really tell for sure right now, and it's not going to be worth continuing to dig, so we're going to keep looking on. See how I did that? Didn't like it, so I just moved on.
This one is going to be an identifier for sure. We've got a heavy die scratch coming off the bottom of the 0 in the date. That's struck through right there. And you're not going to see that coin to coin. Struck through is pretty much a one-off thing. That is what we would consider a very, very minor error. Although it isn't really, because we kind of expect them in striking coins. Just sort of a normal part of striking coins. Ratio of large and small date 1960. That's a really interesting question because we really don't know. As far as the number of die varieties known, I think we would be looking at, I'm going to say 10 to 1 for die varieties for the 1960D. Small to large. Let's see, what can we do with this? Okay, I know it's not below number 21, so this is a good place to start looking. I just know all of the dies prior to number 21 for this year. It's just, there's certain things that total immersion is going to give you, and in some cases, it's kind of like you beat something into your head enough times that you just remember it. It's like, yeah, it's almost a non-effort thing. You just remember it. And I do believe I might have missed it, so I'm going to go back a couple of pages here, go back to number 20. I know it's not below number 20. I just know that because there's nothing like this below number 20. So let me go back up to number 21 again. And it's definitely not 21, definitely not 22, 23, or 24. It's definitely not a 25. 26. I don't think it could be number 26 because my center post is different and my hook on the right side over here is different also. So I'm just going to keep moving. It's not 27. 27 is too close to the date. It's not 28. That's too far over. It's not 29. That's too thin, too long. It's not number 30 because again we've got it too close to the date. So we will move on to number 31. That's too strong. Number 32, it is not because this is too pointed, too thin, and this is too blunt. Not that definitely, not that definitely. Let's see, it's not this one definitely. It's not this, it just doesn't have the right shape. It could. No, it's not this one because this one's too close to the date. It's not this, different type of doubling. It's not that or that. Those have a thin line. It's definitely not any of these. Don't know about that. Well, it's not that one for sure. Number 44 is very distinctive. It's extremely minor, but it shows a line like this inside, and it has a very distinctive marker. It's got a curved die scratch above the Y of Liberty. Let's keep moving. At some point it's got to show up, right? You think? Just got to show up. It's going to be one of those numbers like, that's different. I thought maybe I had one of those. Hey, look at this. This shows distinct possibility, doesn't it? I think it does. Number 83. What do we have for number 83 here? Well, what do you know, boys and girls? It looks like we may have a match. We've got two heavy die scratches between the 9 and the 6 right up here, which we have right here. We have a relatively strong one from the 6 to the top of the D. We've got a small, chubby vertical bar on the inside. We have a doubled lower serif. We have a small doubled upper serif. We've got a long die scratch coming out of the east of the 0 going toward the southwest. I think we definitely have a match here. Let's find another one of the markers. Well, let's see if we've got these really heavy die scratches coming out of the LI to the north. Well, what do you know? We do. There they are right there.
This is definitely the same die. So, here we definitely have an example of number 83. What do you know? I'm basically building a set over here because I don't have an 83 either. One of these days I'll have to provide a wide camera as well to show you what I do when I'm going through rolls like this to separate the different dies from one another. Because I have 4, 8, 12, 20, 22, 26, 20, 37 different dies that I'm dealing with right now. So it's a head burner at the very least. What's this little guy right here? What would you do? I don't know what this one is. Yeah, I'm going to keep moving too. You know why? Because I can. Alright, let's see what the next one is. It's 61D, and I don't recognize it right away, so I'm probably just going to keep moving. I like it. It's a nice RPM, but it's not for me right now. There's another number 19. 1960D RPM number 19. You'll see the D above a little bit later, but I can tell because of this little die gouge right here on the corner of the 9. Now your D is right here. It's really hard to see at this angle. But as soon as I turn it, it's going to be a lot easier to see that D. And your gouge kind of goes away, sort of. But that's a number 19. What are you? I kind of recognize that, but I don't want to hunt for it. This one is a little more interesting. So this one's got splits plus a bar. That's got deep splits too. See, I remember seeing this one, but I'm going to have to dig for it at some other point because I just don't remember it right now. I'll get all these rolls back out, and I'm going to be going through them again. This is definitely not the only time I'm going to be going through these rolls. And, well, absolutely and for sure, I don't remember everything I look at. This is a beautifully toned coin, but it doesn't have anything that I can pick up off of it. It actually doesn't even look like it's an RPM at all. So, keep moving. This bunch of rolls that I got here, the person who initially collected these coins really knew what an RPM was, but threw a lot of questionable coins in these rolls. And given that he threw a lot of questionable coins in these rolls, there are a number of either not RPMs or not definitely RPMs. You know what I'm saying? Ones you really got to look hard for. And there's a number of those. I'm probably just going to toss off to the side, not even mess with them. Maybe put them in a tube and gift them for Christmas or something to somebody. Let them take the headache. Here's a nice one. It appears to be a number 16. It's an early die state, too. Nice early die state. Appears to be number 16. Let's check it out and see. Actually, what I'm going to have to... I almost spilled them. Almost. But that was a save. That was a save. Let's see here. Get this moved up over there so we can see it on that side. Then we're going to bring up the copper coins page. Go to number 16. Take a look at number 16. See what we have. And here's number 16. I think we're going to be looking at an EDS, no less. And see, you can see the little hump right here, the second mint mark, and then this is the third mint mark up here. So you got your third mint mark there. Okay. Here I'm going to be looking for other marker information as I go along. See, I don't really see much for markers there. We have a little die thingy coming off the E of we. Flip this coin around so I can see it a little better. I do not see it there. So we may have an earlier die state than the one that is in the pics. Let's see if I have that line over the IB of pluribus. I do have that line, so this is definitely the same die. I've got that little line over the IB of pluribus. Let's take a look at it here. There it is. It's a little harder to see here, but you've also got the line underneath the I of pluribus. And what's my next marker? Next marker is a bunch of lines out here, right there. That definitely marks that die as being exactly the same. No question about it at this point. So we definitely have number 16. I don't think I have a spot saved for number 16. I've got 15, 17, and 19, but not 16. So I'll get a little marker thing for number 16 now. I'm going to put it off to the side here. Running out of space for different dies. Yeah, I know this is a complaint all of you want to hear about. Wait a minute, where did it go? Oh, did I set it down here? Is this... Ooh, is that it? Yeah, that's it. Number 16. Nicely toned coin. Beautiful. Number 16. Now let's move on to the next one. And this is 1961D. 38. Is that number 38? 33? 33, 38. My brain isn't working. Somebody tune me in. It's not 33. Oh, it's definitely not 38. What am I thinking? It's 50 something. How about if I just admit that I don't remember? How's that? There it is. That's it right there. 59. One I've got here is a little bit later die state than the one that's in the picture. Just a little bit. But it's the same die. 1961D, number 59. Guess what? I didn't have one of those already. So 61D. Who would like to own this? All of this searching that I've done, come up with all these different dies. Who would like to be the proud mommy or daddy of this stack of RPMs that I have identified? There's 262s in a row. I'll pop these off and put them back in the tube because, well, identifying them right now is not something I necessarily want to do. I've got like 37 different dies here. A couple of them are actually very scarce to rare. So at like $5 a coin, this would be, I don't know, $37, $165, $175, somewhere in there.
But if I got you one of each of everything that I've found in these rolls so far, one of each, for $150. That would include the number 11 I found earlier. I don't know that one. It doesn't include any of these ones that I don't know. Because I'm not going to give you something that's not attributed because, well, I don't want you to have to go through the trouble. I don't know that one either. I don't know. Stab in the dark. Well, this one is one that I should know. Let's see. This is number 65. This is RPM 65. I'd betcha number 65. Let's see here. You don't want to take a bet on that. The ones I don't know, I'm like, I don't know. But if I number it out right away, I think I kind of know what I'm doing. There's a number 65. What do you guys think? Are we close? I think we are. We've got a match. You see the die scratch to the left of the 9 and to the very left of the mint mark. Number 65. Definitely number 65. Okay, who are you? We're going to go with don't know. Not going to dig for it right now. So don't know. Not going to dig for it right now. We're going to go on to the next one and see what it is. If we can. Oh, mama. No, I'm not going to start singing. I'm not going to start singing. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I think this might be... No, this isn't number 99. Blam. I don't know. It still could be. Let me check it. Check it here real quick. See if it's the number 99. If it's number 99, it would be the second one I have ever found. If it is. And it's not number 99. This is the other one. This is the same die as that other one that I thought might be a 99 and found out it wasn't. So this one is one that I really need to understand and come to know, because we're going to have a lot of issues until I figure out what this other triple tail RPM is. So if you shall excuse me for just a moment, I will go ahead and try to find its partner. Because right now, I'm perplexed. I'm a little perplexed. Let's see. No. Not on that page. So I'm probably not going to find it tonight. It'll pop up tomorrow. Since I run a first search, I think I find something. I'll click into it and I'll be, oh, snap. There it is right there. Kind of stuff happens to me. I just get used to it. Let's see. Okay, so I'm not going to find this one right away. Just like I thought. It's not going to be apparently obvious to me. But it is not number 99 either. So at least I do know that. Alright, next coin. 61D number 2. The heavy die scratches coming south out of the 1 and the date kind of help you with this one. But number 2 is a tripled RPM. It's got a lower split serif. Plus it's got a bar to the left of the mint mark that doesn't show up very well until a later die state. So that's a 61D number 2. And this one, I don't know this one at all. This one is a very different animal from any of the dies I'm very familiar with. I know I'll find it eventually. Might as well do it now, right? Let me get some of this other stuff out of the way here. And get this on a pad. Get it focused in here. And start the hunt. 1960D, folks. Anybody want to help? You may go on the dig and start looking. I'm going to go on the dig on my own here and start looking. 99, 6 Luftballons auf ihrem Weg zum Horizont. No, I'm not going to start singing. You're not going to get me singing. You'll end up getting the YouTube police after me. And then they will summarily delete the last 2 hours of broadcasting because of my crappy singing. Not gonna happen. Not gonna do it. We're gonna find this. We're gonna find this little puppy right here. Because I have a feeling it's one of the scarcer ones. One of the ones I don't have 2 rolls of already. Because, well, I just don't remember it. You know, I just don't recall. But we can keep looking together. It's not that. That 81, man, those are tough right there. I tell you what. You're not going to see those every day. Not unless you've got a whole lot more rolls than I do. Let's see. That's definitely not it. See something where you've got die scratches that match the direction and you just kind of take a half a breath. Nope, that's not it. 2 pages of small dates, and this is a large date. Actually, 3 pages of small dates. Patreus, that's happened before. And they dogged an entire show that I broadcast because I had music playing in the background. That's why I try to be as quiet as possible when I'm doing these. I try not to sing. I don't do what I normally do when I'm sitting here going through rolls, which is play music in the background so I can help not concentrate on the silence. But if I do it on the YouTube, they will summarily reject my video. They will summarily kill it off. This one looks close, but I think it's low. Mine is lower than this. The scratches aren't the same either, so we'll continue to move along here until I find something that gets a little closer. Yeah, you want to talk about insane, bro? They're really insane about it. Of course, they got a CYA. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can't just let people go willy-nilly on your platform. Somebody's going to come up someday and say, hey, you're letting these people get away with anything.
You can't let them just get away with anything. You got these walrus people with these horrible voices out here trying to sing. It ain't jiving, bruh. You're gonna have to do something about that. Then you're like, yeah, somebody gotta do something. Who's gonna do it? Well, we just start kicking them off. Yeah, that's a good idea. This is like the YouTube board meeting, you know. Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's just start throwing them off the cliff. That'll work. Well, boys and girls, I don't mean to be rude in any way, but I'm not finding this little twerp, and I'm not interested in continuing to dig right now. But it is a very interesting one because I don't think it's been listed. Something just tells me this is not your everyday RPM. Oh, wait. Nope, not it. It's definitely not in the first 10. Alright, we're going to go through one more time and see if we can see this. Because, frankly, I'm not going to sleep until I find it, so I don't know if I have to do it during the broadcast, but I'm definitely going to find this before I go to sleep. 201. Alright, boys and girls. We have a maybe. Let's get 201 up here. Hang on. Let me get through this page here real quick. Make sure I haven't missed it already on here. Okay. Now we're going to look at number 201. We're going to do it this way. Now, see, 201, here you've got the D. It's pretty close to the 6. If you draw a line between the bottom of the 9 and the bottom of the 6, it comes very close to it. But here, it's very far away. So it's definitely not that. Go back to what I was looking for. See, I don't think it's in the 50s at all. I don't think it's in the 60s at all either. '70s? So I don't know the 70s so well, so it could be in the 70s. But I don't think so. This is one of those ones that if you've seen it before, you remember it. You just know it. And I don't know that I've ever seen this. I don't know that this one's not different than any I've ever seen. Of course, it could just be one of the few that I'm missing images for. Dig all day and all night long to find out that... Okay, it's definitely not on that page. Those are all small dates. Those are all small dates. Those are all small dates. We pick it back up at 136, I think. Yeah, 136. That's not it. 137, 138, 139, 140. None of those. It's not that, not that. It's not any of these. I'm looking for that really nicely doubled upper serif. And that's kind of what I'm looking for first. Because it's very distinctive. It's very different. And so if I don't see it, I don't stop. Kind of one of those things. Here's one that we've been looking for a little bit this evening. Number 154. So I can go back and find those. Hoop. Yeah, we got to be running a pretty similar to this 159. I've already looked at this once tonight, but man, that looks close. It just looks like it's a little bit closer to the mint mark the date and the mint mark than my coin here. My little coin.
Got a bunch of scribbly little... It looks like this was like a die made the same day
as the one we have in question here. So 159. It's pretty close in most characteristics. Yeah, keep digging, because it's not that one. Not 160. Not on that page. Oh, wait a minute. Somehow we skipped a bunch here. Let's get back to it. Okay. There's 159 again. It's not that. It's not this. The doubling on the top is not as distinctive. Gotta sound like a whiner now. See, it could be these. We just don't know. Nice 54S RPM. Number 3, I like that. Is that the one with the little horn coming up off the top of the S? We're playing digging up bones here, trying to find this RPM. I don't think I'm going to have any luck. I think it's going to take another day, another dollar. Put another quarter in the jukebox and see if I can find my song here. Because I'm not having any luck. Not with this stack of RPM pictures. Was the only one in the roll, huh? Yeah, sometimes you run into that with an original roll, but most of the time it means your roll's not original. Most of the time. If you found it in a roll, that is. Okay, well, we're not going to find this one. Because it's just, not there.
So, there is a new listing for you, folks. It's a brand new RPM. Stick that off to the side. Get it listed as a new one. It's probably going to cross over to a Wexler number. Mayhaps, perhaps,
it could.
We got about, half a roll, a little less than half a roll to go through here. And then I'm going to cut the wire for the night. See what we have here. My camera back around to straight. Get myself set up to actually look for these things. Get this little guy turned around so we can see the bottom serif. And we have a double split serif, upper and lower, but they're kind of minor. So we are just going to keep moving. This one's a nice one. This one looks like a number 50, 54 or 56. Okay, we have a very distinctive scratch that goes across the bottom of the 9/6. Right there. And then if you turn it this way, you can see that you've got a very distinctive amount of doubling on the bottom. It looks like maybe a 59.
Let's see. Let's bring up the 1960D RPMs again. Let's see, there's 4950, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. So something tells me it's one of these in here. It It might be in the 40s. Let me check in the 40s and see in the 40s. Okay, how about 36? Nope, it's not 36. Well, I know I've seen it before, but I don't remember it right now. So guess what that means? It means for right now, I keep moving along. But I know this die, so it shouldn't be hard to identify a little later on. Roll Dig's going really well because this is a roll full of RPMs. It's already loaded because a different collector found all of these, put them in tubes, and then this is a 61D number 2. RPM number 2, 1961D. Another 59 I got coming up here. Let's see what it is. Yeah, it's not going to be highly interesting right now. But it was a different collector who found all of these and put them in a bag. Had a full bag of RPMs, and I bought them. And so this is what we've got. A full bag of RPMs. And a moron wanting to go through and find all of them. This is number 105 again. I just found one of those about 10, 15, 20 minutes ago, whenever it was. God, I've been on for over 2 hours now. Another 105. I see this one's distinctive. I like it, but I don't know which one it is right now. There's going to be another one of those ones that, well, everybody seems to have them, but nobody seems to know what they are. And there's another one. One of those, everybody has them, but nobody knows what they are things. Man, that's a number 7 right there, I think. But it's circulated, so bye-bye. Pretty sure it's number 7. It's not a number 9. Number 9 is the only one I go digging for in circulated condition. Because number 9 is rare. Yep, that's another one of those. I believe this is number 72. I'm going to check real quick. So we're going to come forward here, and I'm going to bring this one up. I think this is number 72. Let me find out if I'm right. 72 or 75? Okay, it's not a 72. It doesn't look like it's going to be a 75 either. Nope, definitely not a 75. I can tell my distance right here is totally different. I am in 60D. I've done that before. Bring up a couple of different pages to look. And I'm on one date looking for an RPM in a different date. I'm driving myself nuts because I know I've seen that before. I'm looking. And finally I realize, you're looking in the wrong date, stupid. That's why you can't find it. Hard enough. Just trying to figure out what you're doing here with 200 and something different dies that you're making a forensic final little tiny detail check on. And you can't even get the date right. Maybe you should be doing a different hobby, like Beanie Babies or something. This one, that's not the same. I'll turn you just a little bit more so I can see the doubling on the bottom of the mint mark. Because that's wider. Oh, let's see here. The thing is, when you don't know exactly what you're looking for, but you know you you're not looking for that or this or the other. Let's see, 136. Could it be? I don't think so. It doesn't look right. It's not a 137. It's not that. That's too far away. I got to do better photos of those. I got to get those coins back out and photograph them because you can't really tell a whole lot on these. That was during my lesser than beautiful photograph days. This one looks similar, but the tail is more drawn out, kind of like this one. Yeah, that looks pretty similar, actually. You know what? I give up. Uncle! You only look so far. And then you got to give it up and, well, take a fresh look at it at a different time. Right? So, let me pour these off. And finish these last 6 coins and be done for the night. Because, well, frankly, my eyeballs are starting to hurt. I figured I would do this tonight instead of the reveals because the reveals, I kind of feel guilty when I do a reveal without actually scheduling it ahead of time. And then I run into a problem where I got this little chore or that little thing or this little that and little whatever to do, and I end up running out of time. And it's like, well, I'd like to be able to schedule the reveal for now, but I have this little tiny problem in that nobody will show up. And it's like, well, I didn't really do these for people to show up to begin with. Well, yeah, but they like to show up. So then I start guilting myself out of doing it. God, it sounds like such a personal problem, but it really is. There's another one, see? You got that little horn coming up out of the nose. I know I've seen this before. I just don't know what it is. That's a small date. Don't want to mess with that one right now. That's a 61. Don't want to mess with it right now either. God, we're running through these last 6 coins real fast. There's number 23. RPM number 23 right there. I'll take that off and put it in my 23 stack. Even though it is circulated, somebody might want one. What else do we have? Well, that's a 61D. I'm not going to mess with that one right now because I don't want to. Oh, there's a pretty 61D. We're going to look this one up. This one is worth a shot. Let's get that straight. Bring this in a little more. Camera, lights, camera, action. This is the last coin in the roll. So we'll dig this one up real quick. And let's see what we have. Dun, dun, 61D. Going to go back to okay, here we go. Taking a look through my listings, I'm looking for one that has a really strong horn to the east. Something like this, but not quite. Let's see here. Not that either. And it's not this. It looks more like this, but it's not that one. I don't think. Here, I gotta turn this around to look at the lower serif to see what I'm actually looking for here. Okay, I do have a little bit of doubling on the lower serif, but it's not very strong. So keep it looking. It's not this. I don't think it is this. If it is, that's a bad picture. No, I still don't see that crossing. Oh, this picture definitely needs to be replaced at some point. Well, let's see. Not seeing it there. Keep checking. If anybody here knows what this is or thinks they might have found it, well, let me know. You could be right. You never know, right? I mean, the worst thing that we could do is find out that you're wrong. But this isn't a game of maybes. It's a game of right or wrong. You either know it or you don't, or you got it or you don't. It's forensics. You know, forensic science of proving yourself right or wrong. I do it every day. I'm wrong more than I'm right. I like it that way. Not that it keeps me humble. It just shows me reality on a daily basis. Hey, you don't know what you're talking about. Haha. I am not finding this die for one reason or another. It is a very nice looking die, but it is not turning up in my listings. Well, this is aggravating. I am in the right date. I tell you what, I gotta check that once in a while because you never know when you're digging through the wrong year. Well, you should, but it looks like this one. It really looks like that one. Except, see, this one comes down where it disappears in the middle. And this one's really strong all the way through. So I'm going to say no on this. Just for that reason. But then when I look, it's a little bit... This one's a little bit further from the 9 than my coin. Especially when I turn it around where they're the same. Hang on a second here. See, once you get a real good comparison, you can tell that that mine's a little too high for number 20. So it's exactly what Ant said. Let's keep looking. It's not 21. It could be. No, it's not this 22. I just don't think it's this number 22. Photos I have here are really bad photos, and it's a late die state, later than what I've already got. But I don't think it's the right one, so I keep looking. Just like everybody, just keep looking. Let's check out number 30 on his listings, just in case there's a perhaps chance that that's not the same. Okay, back to mine. Go next, number 31. I have no shame, folks. I can tell you that I am not too proud to admit that I use Wexler's listings and I use James Wiles' listings on a very regular basis to determine what I have, because I can't possibly imagine mine being good enough to never need to use any other resources. So there you have it. What was that one I don't have? Number 54. 53, 54, it's not it there. Well, let's see if perhaps we might be able to find it just using... What is that? I'm hearing a hawk outside. That's weird. Wrong time of the day to be hearing a hawk. What is it, 1:30 in the morning? Jiminy Christmas, Chuck, what are you doing still out of bed? I don't know. It's just what I do. Sometimes I stay up all night like an insomniac even though I'm not. I'm like dead tired. I'm ready to go to sleep. But I gotta find this first. As soon as I find this, the world can sleep. As soon as I find this, the world can sleep. Not until then. I keep everybody awake until I find what I need. Well, some of these pictures are, well, not the most desirable, but then again, I've got pictures that are not highly desirable on my website, so never throw rocks from a glass house. Well, I'm kind of leaning in the direction of, doesn't look like anybody has it listed. See, it's not that because he didn't mention the serifs. But here he does. And it's not that because it's too far, the little bar is too far to the east. 56. Oh, let's check 56. No. You talking about his number 56 or mine? Because they could be different. They're not always going to be the same. It's number 29. This 29 looks like it could be a candidate. Maybe a later dice date example. No, seeing the later dice date, it just kind of disappears. He also doesn't have die scratches in the same diff. It's just not the same. It's just not it. Just not it, Jim. We have to move on. Explore. I'm thinking it's going to be one of those ones where the little tail down here doesn't show up until the later dice dates, and we're looking at earlier dice date images. That can happen. Where they use a filler and kind of fill it in. And this looks like it. We're 41. Oh, just for
giggles. I'm going to flip it over and look for reverse markers. Well, it definitely doesn't have that marker. All right, back to the obverse. Back to life. Back to reality. See, it's got 3 Ds. It's definitely 3 Ds.
Because it's got this one to the east, and then it's got a pair that are tilted together right here. So it's definitely 3 Ds. So for them, it's going to be a D over D over D east and serifs. And I'm just kind of pretty sure he doesn't have it listed. D over D over D north and northeast. That's not it. No, not that. South and north. No, that's not it.
I'm finding nothing. It looks like it's probably another new die. Oh, well.
There we go. I've looked. Ain't you finding anything, or are we pretty much done looking for tonight? Because if you're finding something, or if you're still looking, I'll definitely leave it up on screen so you can poke around and hunt for it while I finish the broadcast. But I am not seeing anything that matches what it looked like. These rolls are kind of fun. I'm having fun with them. And then I'll show you if I can here. Take my camera down. No, I'm not going to get enough distance. It's all right, though. Here, I'll tell you how we'll do this. Yeah. I'll take a picture. Somebody boom, 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 boom. And then I will go to my dyno and maybe, yeah. So this is sideways, but this is what my desk looks like. I just got picture after picture after picture. I mean, just got stacks of coins, you know. 1, 2, 3, 5 coins per stack, but I've got different dies. There's number 16, number 157, number 19, number 17, number 15. So that's how I've got this stack put together. I mean, it's just... And then what I'm going to end up doing is... Let's see... Here... There... They're going to end up going inside these boxes of tubes. That have die numbers. Boxes of tubes that have die numbers written on them. But that's what I'm going to end up doing. So I don't guess anybody is actually speaking up right now, so I only got 7 people watching now. Kind of falling apart here. Let's see if perhaps I've missed anybody. All right, folks. Well, I appreciate it. We have been dwindling here for the last 30, 40 minutes. Actually, hour and 20 minutes. But who's counting? I appreciate you guys showing up tonight. We are going to do this again another time. But tomorrow, I'm going to be looking into... finishing up the 5 reveals that we have to do. I'm going to get those scheduled. And then Sunday, we're going to have a singles auction where we're going to come up with some pretty nice coins. And then Monday will be the new reveal sale. And then Tuesday will be another auction. So I appreciate you guys showing up. And I will talk to you next time. I don't know exactly when that'll be. So just, stick around somewhere near YouTube because you'll see an immediate notification come up that I'm online. Then you come take a look. All right, folks, I appreciate it. I'll talk to you later. Have a good night.